Assalamu alaikum students. Welcome to your English class grade 5. This is your Oxford Progressive English book 5 and today we are going to read unit number 9, the beginnings of farming. So let's start with the topic. First of all, we must know what is farming. So let's read the science, art and business of cultivating soil, producing crops and raising livestock is called farming or agriculture. Livestock means keeping domestic animals on farms from which we get meat and milk. This picture is showing you early hunters. They were the early hunters and they were Stone Age men who used to live in the caves, and mostly they were hunters. But gradually they learned how to do farming. Gradually they started growing crops, fruit trees, and they started plowing land, and in this way they learned how to do farming. This picture is showing you some primitive tools for farming which were used by the early farmers, and they were made by animal bones or stones. But then men learned many new ways of inventing latest tools for farming. So let's start with lesson number 1. You have to listen and speak. Lesson number 1 is based on a dialogue, and as we have learned in previous lectures that a dialogue is actually a conversation between two or more than two persons. Here Ellen is the first who starts the conversation. What she says, I have been reading about a book about giant squid. It says that they are so big that they can eat whole ships. What is a squid? Yes, a squid is a sea creature. It lives deep down in the sea. And giant definitely refers to its size. A giant squid is a huge size squid, a very huge squid, enormous squid. Okay, Ben is the next who says something. What he says, I had a funny dream last night about a huge fish. You will never guess what happened. Now Ben wants others to guess that what he saw in his dream. Charlie says, I think I can guess. You were fishing at sea, weren't you? Now, weren't you is a question tag. We will read about question tag in next slide. Ellen, and the monster fish was as big as a bus, wasn't it? Another question tag. Charlie, and it swallowed another boat, didn't it? Another question tag. Ellen, then it pulled your boat across the Indian Ocean, didn't it? Another question tag. Charlie, in the end, you didn't catch it, did you? Now what they are doing, they are actually guessing that what Ben saw in his dream. And they are just joking. Ben says, you are not being serious. It was a very frightening dream, a nightmare. So now we have come to know that what do we call a frightening dream? A frightening dream is called a nightmare. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, in this slide you can see the picture of a squid. A squid resembles an octopus, but there is a slight difference. Yes, A squid has a triangular head, whereas an octopus has a round head. Now you can easily differentiate between these two sea creatures, a squid and an octopus. Okay, we were talking about tag questions and now we are going to read what is a question tag. A question tag is a special construction in English. It is a statement followed by a mini question asking for agreement or confirmation. It is at the end of a sentence. Let's look at the examples. Here we have few examples and you will solve these blanks on your own. You don't like this music. So what will be the question tag here? It will be do you? Because here we have a negative sentence. Don't here. We have a negative sentence. So the question tag will be positive. Do you? Second, Robert isn't at work today. Again, we have a negative statement. So question tag will be positive. What it will be? Is he? The question tag will be is he? Right? I'm too late. Now here we have a positive one. So the question tag will be negative. Amn't I? Amn't I? Next, you haven't seen the newspaper. We have a negative sentence, haven't. So question tag will be positive. Have you? Have you? Lynn speaks French and German. Here we have a positive sentence. So the question tag will be negative. Doesn't she? Doesn't she? They didn't go to the concert. Negative one. So the positive question tag will be did they? Did they? You'd like to have something to eat. Won't you? Won't you? We are leaving tomorrow. We are leaving tomorrow. Here we have a positive statement. So what will be the question tag? Aren't we? Aren't we? You couldn't do me a favor. Could you? You don't know where Sarah is. Do you? Do you? So in this way, you can practice to put question tags yourself. And remember that if you have a positive sentence, then the question tag will be negative. And if you have a negative sentence, then the question tag will be positive. And it is added with the auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verbs are the helping verbs. Let's go to the next slide. Lesson number 3, the beginnings of farming. Lesson number 3 of this unit is a play script. You can even role play it. So let's read what is a play script. A play script is a piece of writing written for the stage. A play script will include a list of characters at the very beginning. It may be divided into acts, which are then divided into scenes. Each scene will have a description of the setting at the start and then the characters' dialogue. So here you have a proper play script in your book and you have to go through it. Read the play script and answer the questions. Okay, let's have a look at the characters. First we have Bebel. Bebel is the main character. He is a Stone Age man. Then we have Macy. Macy is Bebel's wife. Then we have Humple. Humple is Macy's brother. Hazy is elder daughter of Bebel and Macy. Basie is their younger daughter and Rumpel is their son. So how many characters do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters we have in this play script. You will go through the play script yourself, and here I am reading the main story. The family lives in a cave, right? These 6 persons, they are a family and they are living in a cave. Bebel and Humple are hunters, right? They are the 2 male members of the family, and what is their work? They have to hunt and bring some meat home so that the ladies of the family could prepare lunch and their dinner as well. They go out for hunting and come back home in evening. So all day long, what do? They do hunting. And when they come home, they bring some meat to be prepared as a meal. Bebel is a dominating man who thinks his wife has nothing to do and she only wastes her time by the stream. So husband is a bit angry man who thinks that his wife does not do anything at home. She only wastes her time. But in reality, Macy is a wise woman who has made a water channel from the stream to water her wheat plants. Now see, they are the cavemen, and even in that age, they had started making a canal. A water channel here is actually a canal which is giving water to her wheat plants. Her children help her in sewing buffalo skin, grinding wheat grains, and taking dried beans out of their pods. So her children help her in different house chores. Bebel is just a man of words. He is just a man of words. He can only talk and talk, and he is unable to do anything. One day when he comes back from hunting, he feels extremely hungry and wants his dinner. He himself could not bring meat to be cooked for the dinner. He decides that they should move on. Why he decides? Because he thinks that now there is no more um, um, animals in the forest which could be hunted and which could be prepared as their meal. So they should move on. Move on means that they should migrate. They should go to some other place. But the family insists that they shouldn't, as they have plenty of wheat, milk, beans, fruit, chicken, and their eggs. But at that time, his family tells him that they should not move on because they have plenty of eatables. They have a cave or a store full of wheat. They are getting milk from animals, and they have grown some beans, they have grown fruit trees, and they are keeping chickens from which they get eggs, and they can even get the meat from chickens as well. So he feels so happy. And here we see that how early cavemen started farming. When they are growing crops, they are growing wheat, they are growing beans, fruit trees, and they are also keeping livestock. Here chicken and their eggs are giving us an idea of poultry farms, which is a livestock, and we can easily get the idea of farming. In the end, they did not move on, they did not go anywhere else. And what happened? What actually happened? Other families came and they started living with them in the forest. So we see that how the early men of Stone Age time, they started doing farming, right? So gradually, it was a gradual process, and nowadays people are doing farming with many latest tools. Work to be done. Now what you have to do, you have to find out the meanings of the following words from the dictionary, and then you have to write them down on your notebooks. Squid, nightmare, swallow, channel, grind, ripe, sew, struggle, hunt, and move on. Then we have few questions. Answer the following questions. Why was Babel angry? Second question, what was Macy doing near the stream? Question number 3, what did Humple hit? Question number 4, what did Macy cook for the dinner? And question number 5, how did the family produce enough food? You can answer these questions by reading the lesson thoroughly. I hope that you have understood the main points of the lesson, and thank you so much.